Welcome all. It's the 17th day of February 2025, 3 o'clock in the afternoon. This is a meeting of the Uintah County Board of Commissioners. We have before us a desire to have you sign, if you have it before you leave, back there on the roll. If you have an electronic device that makes noise when it rings or whatever, please silence it. We have Lisa Colthorpe doing the prayer, and yours truly doing the pledge.
Dear Heavenly Father, we're so very grateful that we can meet here together as community members and representatives of our county. We ask you to please be with the elected officials today, that they will be able to make the decisions that are best for our community. We're grateful for this country that we have to live in and for the freedoms that we have. We ask you to bless those that are serving our country, that they will be protected, and we say these things in the name of Jesus Christ. Amen.
Thank you very much. Please stand, rise. Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Angela?
Thank you.
Angela, would you be kind enough to grab me an agenda, please?
All right, we have the approval of the minutes of February 2nd, 26, a special meeting, and February 10th, 26, and February 11th, 26, work session and special meeting. Any questions, comments, or concerns?
I would make a motion that we approve those minutes as stated.
All right. Call for a vote.
Aye.
Aye. Mike Jr. Approval of the warrants. Caleb?
All right, good afternoon, Commissioners. Can you hear me?
Yes.
So I'm here to present the warrants that were ran on 2/12, and for the total of $712,929.85. So the biggest highlights, or the biggest amounts, $69,000 to CIB for the compactor loan that we have, and part of that has the reserve in there as well, and then $300,000 to the Vernal Airport, which goes to Vernal City as a contribution. And that's all I've got. So
I would just clarify that $300,000 that goes to Vernal City is actually our share of the O&M for the airport.
right, first installment. There'll be a second one here towards the other half of the year. So yep.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
All
I think
right.
I just need approval of those.
Do I have a motion?
I'll make a motion that we approve the warrants as presented.
Call for a vote.
Aye.
Aye. Any tax matters? No tax matters today. Okay, subdivision amendment request to add one building lot to Sagebrush Acres subdivision located at 163 East, 2800 South, Vernal, Utah. Deanna? It's me today. Oh, I'm upside down again.
Okay, so we have an application to amend a subdivision. What they're doing, this is the old Sagebrush Acres subdivision. Most of the lots in this subdivision have been vacated, but this lot never got vacated, and they're wanting to split it now. So here's the full lot right now is this large rectangle amount. They're wanting to split off a lot right here, and the neighbor is purchasing that property. And so with subdivision amendments, they still come to the county commission for approval. This application, this proposal wasn't brought to a work session. There was a bit of a time crunch, so we are bringing it straight here. for you guys to take a look at it and review and to see if it's something that could be
Do you mind,
amended.
do you happen to have the map that would, like, out further so we could kind of orient us to where that is?
Like an aerial map?
Yes.
Yeah. I can-
I mean, I have a general idea, but I just wanted to
Yeah.
know exactly where it is.
Okay, so here's 2500 south of Vernal Avenue. There's this road that comes across that connects with the 2500.
Okay.
So this property is right here. Whoops, sorry, it's kind of fast. This is the property
That's a little better.
they're wanting to amend and just pull out this property here. The size of the new property meets the subdivision standards, or sorry, the lot size minimum. It does go more narrow than the 90-foot required width, but they went far enough back to make up for that difference. The code states that if there is land available to do that, that it needs to stay that wide. In this case, it's not wide enough to do that. So they were allowed to go a little less than that 90 feet, but they still had to go far enough back to make it the minimum lot size. And the frontage along the south side of the property is the correct frontage.
And you said this was what happened to this lot? They're just adding a lot? It wasn't a missed lot or anything?
No,
Okay.
they're subdividing
They're
it.
just creating another lot?
Right.
Okay.
Yep.
What are the rules to amend the subdivision plat?
They need to
They
come
can
to,
just amend it, or
Yeah,
do they
it
have to go to
has
the
to be
owners,
approved.
or how does that work?
the owners have to sign it. In this case, well, in all cases, I guess, the owners of the subdivision have to sign it, but there's only one owner in this case because it's just one lot.
So it's
rest of-
not part, these are all meets and bounds descriptions. This isn't really an actual,
Right.
I don't know what you'd say, developed subdivision. It's just lots that were divided and built on there.
I think at one point it was a developed subdivision and then they just
Did it have
vacated.
CC&Rs or anything like that?
No.
Okay.
Any more questions?
So, Sagebrush Acres was a recorded subdivision, and that's why they're coming to you. Otherwise, this would just be a minor subdivision that would be handled through the office. But since the larger lot here was part of that Sagebrush Acres subdivision and wasn't vacated from the subdivision, it's an amendment now because they're adding to the subdivision. And so that's why it's coming to you guys. Generally, this would just be handled as a minor subdivision. But since this lot's not described as a meets and bounds, it's described as Lot 3 or Lot 9 or whatever of Sagebrush Acres or whatever.
Former lot 3, but.
Yeah, Lot 3 of Sagebrush Acres.
But it was never vacated, never went through the
Some of
actual
the other
process
lots
to
in
vacate
the
it.
subdivision were vacated,
Okay.
but this one wasn't, so that's why it's coming to you guys to decide on the
Now, they want to put a house on it then?
So at some point, a house could go on it. I don't know that they're planning, the neighbor's buying it, and they're planning to put a garage on it or something. So-
Okay.
But it would be a separate lot from their lot. They're not wanting to adjust their boundary.
Okay.
Makes sense.
Any further questions?
No.
Call for a vote?
I
Sorry,
would make a
motion.
motion that we amend the Sagebrush Acres subdivision to allow this building lot. I guess, is that it? Okay,
Sure.
that's my motion.
Questions, comments, concerns? Call for a vote time.
Aye.
Aye. Okay. Thank you very much. moving smartly along. Ordinance number 20204, 202601, amendment to Title 17, Code Cleanup and Corrections, removing duplicate and contradicting language, clarifying obscure language. Deanna again.
Again. Okay, so this did come to the work session last week, and it's just a code cleanup. And do you want me to read through each one again, or summarize, or kind of?
I think if you just summarize it real quick, just
Okay.
basically the red parts more than anything.
Right. We took those red parts out so you can't see them. Do you want me to open? Well, okay, so this is, I guess, the big change we talked about. The fence height is something that the commissioners requested that we change that to 8 feet rather than the 7 feet that's required in the IRC. So now it reads, no fence or wall shall be erected in any required front yard of a dwelling to a height in excess of 4 feet unless the fence is 90% see-through. No fence or wall shall be erected on the property which exceeds 8 feet in height. Fences over 7 feet in height shall be required to obtain a building permit. That's how it's going to read now, to allow the 8 feet. Okay. Flag lots, on this one, we just added that all buildings, all the required setbacks for buildings shall not be counted as part of the access strip. It used to say existing buildings, but it needs to be any future planned buildings as well. The next section was the home business and home occupations, and in that one, it was specified that they could only use 25% of a home, but how much of a shop or an outbuilding that they could use wasn't specified. So we changed it so it's saying 25% of the home or outbuilding.
I did have a question on that.
Sure.
I know some people build an outbuilding for the little business. So have you, I think I've seen several that do that. Then they wouldn't be able to do that. In this, I kind of see that as an issue.
If they do
Impeding them
that,
from
then
doing
the
that.
building has to be regulated under the commercial building code rather than the residential building code. It is something that, where it's in the code saying they can't do that, would it just not be considered a home-based business at that point, just a commercial business?
But then you probably couldn't do that in the residential area, is what I'm meaning.
Depends
So,
on what the
like,
business
some of
is.
them
Some
will set up a
businesses
little
are allowed.
Barber shop or a little, you know what I mean?
And that's, we've got a section for that, the in-home professional services.
But they could have that in the building and use the whole building for that? Or this says, no, you can't?
You can't use the whole building.
But that's not a home, so there's a difference between, so this is just home-based businesses.
Within
So this is your
the
home
home.
offices, things like that. So like a hair salon
Right.
or things like that, those are conditional uses in those zones, or they're permitted uses, so they don't fall under the home-based businesses. So they could build a building just for that. If they're using more than 25% of a residential building though, they would have to do some commercial. So they have to meet commercial standard rather than residential standards. The 25% is just to keep it residential, make sure that it's residential and not commercial.
Well,
in
then
nature.
are we allowing them, so they could build a shop, and as long as they only use 25% of that for a business, that'd be okay? That's
Correct.
called a home-based.
Yeah, and then
Okay.
it keeps everything residential for them, and they're not having to meet higher standards of the commercial code. And then it's also keeping it to where, I mean, the whole purpose of the home-based business is to allow people to grow their business, but not change the character of the neighborhood that they're in. So it just keeps things in check. And then when they, hopefully these businesses, they get to a point where they need to go find a commercial place to be, because they're large enough to do that.
Anything else?
Do you want me to keep going on the rest of them?
Yep.
There's 2 more. So in-home professional services, those are permitted uses in the use table, but we had it in this section, they were called conditional uses. So we changed conditional to permitted right here to match what we had in the other part of the code. And then this administrative approval, conditional use permits that are approved administratively, it used to say that any, okay, I was just making sure it was out of there. I thought I saw it. Any denied permits would come to the county commission for review, and that conflicts with our process for appeals. So the appeals process in 1713 sends it to an appeals and hearing or variance officer to review. Oh, yep, I missed that every time. Okay, so 1710, that was the old chapter on variances. That chapter is now, or the variance information is now included in 1713 along with appeals. So it was, we're removing chapter 1710.
Got it all?
Yep.
Okay.
It's never ending. As they change codes and
Every year.
everything, it's always moving and living, so. Do it again. Well, we appreciate your hard work to keep them up to date.
Okay, call for a motion.
I'll make a motion that we amend ordinance number 02-04-202601 as presented.
Call for a vote.
Aye.
Aye. Yeah,
Okay.
it's not really amending an ordinance, it's an ordinance amending Title 17. So, just clarification.
She said.
All right,
There's a question.
you survived. All right, Karen, you get the rest of the show. Can-do crew, library janitorial contract for 2026. Karen England, librarian.
Uintah County is renewing its janitorial services with Uintah School District's Can-Do Crew for cleaning services at the Uintah County Library for 2026 calendar year. The service period and schedule are provided approximately for 9 months, January to December 2026, on school days per the Uintah School District's calendar. The contract excludes the summer months, June, July, and August. The total contract is for $18,900, payable in 9 equal monthly installments of $2,100. And the scope of the work is the Can-Do Crew is responsible for daily vacuuming, trash removal, restroom cleaning and sanitizing, furniture dusting, and tree maintenance, as well as weekly and monthly tasks as outlined. The contract has already been signed by the Uintah School District, and I am just asking for approval from the commission chair to continue this contract and approve it.
Sorry, you said it was for how much?
The total cost is $18,900.
Thank you.
You're
I
welcome.
knew you presented that before in the other meeting.
Oh, okay, yes.
Any questions, comments, concerns?
Nope. I would make a motion that we approve the Can-Do Crew Library Janitorial Contract as presented.
Call for a vote.
Aye.
Aye.
Thank you.
Joint library services between UN and Duchesne MOU.
Okay. Uintah County Library is renewing its memorandum of understanding with Duchesne County Library to continue a cooperative library services partnership between the two counties. This agreement is entered into under the Utah Interlocal Cooperation Act and requires approval from both county commission chairpersons. The MOU establishes a joint shared cataloging system, COHA, and patron discovery interface, ASPEN, allowing residents of both counties to access broader collection of library materials. Some of the key provisions, the shared library catalog and patron interface. The cost is split 50-50 between both counties, and it is invoiced directly by the vendor, Bywater Solutions. The reciprocal borrowing, patrons in good standing may borrow and return materials at either library with no non-resident fees. Materials exchange, physical items may be shared between libraries using the most cost-effective means available. And there are quarterly director meetings to coordinate shared issues and policies. This agreement runs for 5 years and may be renewed for another 5-year term, and either party may terminate with 60 days written notice. This partnership allows Uintah County Library to offer expanded services to residents at a shared cost, making it fiscally responsible and community beneficial.
Quite the mouthful.
Thank
Could
you.
you start from the beginning?
Yeah, I sure can. Do you want me to?
Okay. Call for motion.
I'll make a motion that we approve the MOU, Joint Library Services between Uintah and Duchesne County.
Questions, comments, or concerns? Hearing none, call for a vote.
Aye.
Aye.
Aye. All right, Community Library Enhancement Fund, CLEF,
Okay.
grant contract 2026. Karen?
Thank you. So the Uintah County Library has been awarded $10,678 grant from the Utah State Library Division through the Community Library Enhancement Fund, the CLEF program. This grant is funded through the Utah Department of Cultural and Community Engagement and is made available to libraries that meet certified public library status under Utah state standards. CLEF funds are designated to directly improve library services in our community and may be used for collection development, technology for public use, library programming, and community outreach, ADA building and improvements, and minor capital improvements. We are going to be using this CLEF grant for patron technology use. We are updating our library checkout systems. The grant period runs from July 1st, 2025 through June 30th, 2026. And a final detail of spending needs to be submitted to the State Library by September 15th, 2026. The county's attorney's office found that one of the referenced codes was out of date. They are, however, good with the contract being approved by the commission and signed by the library once the code has been updated. I'm just asking that the commission approve the library to sign that contract once that code has been updated.
Okay. Call for a motion.
Yes.
This is one that would need to be signed by the library.
This is signed by me, yes.
I would make a motion then that we approve the Community Library Enhancement Fund grant contract as presented, and with authorization for Karen England to sign, once the corrections have been made.
Once it's cleared by the county attorney's office.
Yes.
Okay.
And I, just for clarification, Ms. Valencia in my office discovered that code had been, it wasn't the correct code, so she gave it to Karen. The state will have to change that, but we were good with her signing it as it is, with them understanding it's an
okay.
outdated code section. So it probably won't be changed on this document yet.
Oh, gotcha.
So we were fine
Okay.
with signature.
Okay.
Thank you.
Motion?
She
Oh, you
did.
made it. Call for a vote.
Aye.
Aye.
All right. There you go, Karen.
Excellent. Thank you.
Thank you.
Great presentations.
Now it's time for public comment. If anybody has public comment, please let me know and we'll read our thing. Oh, you're getting away that easy. Oh, no. Talk about reading. Okay. Public comment reminders. At this time, we'll open the floor for public comment. Please keep your remarks to 3 minutes so that everyone has a chance to speak. Remember, this is a time for comment and not for debate. To make this procedure and productive and respectful space, let's keep things civil, avoid interruptions, be mindful of the time limits. When making a public comment, please step to the microphone and state your name for the record. Please be courteous to those in attendance and wait for the microphone to be available before making a comment. The county may not be responding to comments or answering questions. However, we value your input and will take comments into consideration. Total of 15 minutes will be allocated for public comment. Each speaker will have 3 minutes to make their comments. We truly value hearing from our community, and while this portion of the meeting is limited, we welcome more in-depth conversations. If you'd like to continue this discussion, please feel free to stay after the meeting. We'd be glad to schedule a time to meet with you and talk further. You got all that? Okay.
You have to state your name.
My name is Kara Murray, and I just wanted to take a minute and introduce myself as the new County Director for USU Extension. Cheyenne Reed has resigned her position, and USU has appointed me, so I am excited to be here.
Great. Well, welcome aboard. I saw that email this
Yes.
morning, so thank you very much.
You're very welcome.
Thank you for being willing to serve in that position.
Yeah, of course. And our remodel's coming along nicely. I was just at the office, and they're busy, so.
That's
it's-
great.
it's
It looks
looking
nice.
good.
I was over there the other day. It looks real nice.
We're really excited.
So,
Yeah, we have a lot of great programming coming up, and that kitchen space will be very well utilized, so.
Promise not to burn it down.
We will not be burning it down.
All right.
No. Okay.
No, that looks great. We're really looking forward to working with you, and thank you again for taking a step into who knows what.
The unknown. Well, thank you. I appreciate it.
Thanks, Tara. Okay, anyone else? If that's the case, Commissioner Lefevre has a motion.
We adjourn.
We are adjourned.
Thank y'all for coming.